Parents often ask, what should I focus on when my child is just starting school? Is it reading, writing, or numbers? Today we will explore how curiosity, resilience, and creativity matter just as much, if not more, than early years academics. Joining us is Miss Aarti Mongia, who is the head of early years at Acumen International School. She has had over 12 years of experience guiding students across India and the Middle East. Welcome, Miss Aarti.
Thank you, Supriya.
Thank you for joining us today. My first question to you would be, what does lifelong learning really mean? And why is it so impactful and important early in a child's educational journey?
When we talk about lifelong learning, we're talking something more than academics. It is a mindset of staying curious, adaptable, and open to new experiences at every stage of life. And lifelong learning begins at early years because that is when the child's brain is developing rapidly. And children are also born curious. They are observing, touching and feeling the things around them. Let it be textures, sounds. They want to know why for everything. As adults, we might, feel it is annoying of they asking so many questions. However, that is where, the curiosity begins, and that is where we play an important role of not rushing to things and allowing them, to explore and find out solutions on their own by being their guide. So it is all about, how to learn and not what to learn.
Got it. I think you bring up a good point about rushing learning. I think sometimes parents expect their children to learn either reading, writing, or the numbers very quickly in their academic journey. So how does one balance academic knowledge as well as exploration-based learning, as a parent?
I definitely agree with you. So this is one of the most common questions that I hear from parents, and it is completely understandable. Every parent wants their child to succeed. And the key here is to remember that play is not separate from learning. Play is learning. So, for example, if a child is playing with a set of blocks, so that's a place where the child is also learning about the shapes. Maybe, the child is learning how to count and stack. They're learning about the spatial awareness. And for instance, when they are playing with their set of toys, the dollhouse or an imaginative play. So that's a source where the child is developing their imaginative skills. The social skills comes into picture. So it's academic is not just related to, a number of set of worksheets to say that, okay, I'm excelling, like my child knows this. But it's all about, experiencing those experiences and inculcating the skill, which will stay with them, throughout their life.
Because you brought up a good point about parents encouraging this curiosity that children have and supporting them in their discovery of the world around them. What another experience that we often face is that parents tend to expect their children to either learn their ABCs or understand mathematics very quickly in their learning journey. So how can we balance academics with an exploration-based learning in your experience?
Right. So this is one of the most common questions that I hear from parents, and it is completely understandable. Every parent wants their child to succeed, and the key thing for them and all of us is to remember is that play is not separate from learning. Play is learning. So, for instance, if a child is playing, with a set of blocks, so the child is learning, the number counting. Maybe, it is also an opportunity where the child is learning about the spatial awareness and
structural, how to build certain structure.
Maybe the shape and size when they are playing with the blocks. And also when the child is, playing with their doll house, or maybe, doing a role play with their, things around them. So that is, an opportunity or a space where the child is building their vocabulary, their social skills, maybe
Their imagination also is kind of, tied in with that.
Yes. So for me, like, I would say that academics or rushing into ABCs is not only the solution that, my child is going to succeed. However, it's not about memorizing something and learning and implementing. It is about experiencing those, little things, and then, making it as a part of our learning overall. And that is something that's going to last with a child forever and make them as a lifelong learner.
Mm-hmm. So again, because we are talking about this and, things maybe that they're doing at their house that they might not necessarily, do at school. Another question that comes up is, how can parents support this journey of lifelong learning, and what are some ways that they can incorporate this into their life at home?
Right. I strongly believe that the parent partnership and involvement in child's learning is truly important. And the best part is that it does not require any extraordinary support. It's very simple. Just be present and be as curious as your child is. Begin with asking open-ended questions to them. And for example, take mealtime. Engage the child, maybe deciding the menu. What would you want to have? Let them set up the tables, set up the dining table, and, let them count the number of spoons. And so this is something that, the child is learning about math. They are learning about, talking about the ingredients. Okay, so how are we measuring the ingredients? So mealtime is a very good example where the child is involved with you, as well as, they are learning so many, academical concepts that require for them to grow.
Understand. So basically, essentially, you're saying that every activity can be a learning opportunity, whether it's a chore or mealtime or even, perhaps bedtime can be,
Yes. Yes, read a book. Reading a book with them during bedtime is a great example as well, as you said. That would, of course, encourage and develop their curiosity, their imaginative skills, and of course, giving them a platform that, okay, this is the story. What if you had a chance to change the ending? Then how do you want the story to end? So it's about, understanding their perspective and being involved. Yeah. It's not like you're just putting a checklist. I'm reading a book for you. I'm doing this for you. But it's like you are equally involved. And that is something, it takes very less effort.
Yeah, it's the small things essentially that add up to, a big journey of lifelong learning and curiosity that the parents and child can work together, I think, and achieve.
Yes.
Got it. My follow-up question to this, considering that you again are heading the early years at Acumen International School, we are discussing, the role of both parents and children in the journey of lifelong education. What kind of role does a school play in this, and how can schools and parents work together to ensure that children are not just building academic knowledge, but they're also building resilience, creativity, and empathy?
Right. I believe it takes a partnership between home and school to build curious, confident, and compassionate learners. Academics are important, but they are only one part of a child's journey. Schools create environment that allows children to take risks, feel safe, and express themselves, and that's how the resilience grow. And as parents' point of view, when a parent is reinforcing these values and encouraging the students, or encouraging the child to do the same, and at home by asking them open-ended questions, encouraging and pushing them to take risks. So that is where the creativity blossoms. And communication is the key. I believe having a transparent and clear communication between the parents and the school would also give a platform for a child to grow and excel overall.
So essentially, of course, the parents and the school need to be on the same page about each child's journey. And it's only that through that partnership that we're able to, build this mindset of lifelong learning and also model it for them both at school and at home.
Yes, true. So I strongly believe that when home and school are working hand in hand, so we are not just preparing children for exams, but we are again preparing them for life.
That's a great point. Thank you, Ms. Aarti, for joining us today and helping us understand exactly what lifelong learning is and how we can embody it in our daily lives.
Thank you.
At Acumen, our plan is to nurture children who are curious, resilient, and eager to keep learning long after the classroom, which is at the heart of pursuing excellence every day. Thank you for joining us today at Acumen EdTalks, and we'll see you in the next episode.